Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And this week again we have a lot of news to cover, so let's get right into it. The big announcement this week was definitely getting more information on the previously announced Calamity Gundam. We knew what it was going to look like on the outside, but that's kinda everything we knew. It was going to be a 1/100 scale, and I believe that I also wasn't the only one who was expecting this to be a master grade. Because why wouldn't it be? Looking at it, it had the detail of a master grade, and it even had the master grade seat style hands. But turns out we were wrong, or at least I was wrong. Rather than a master grade, Calamity Gundam will become the flagship for the new full Mechanix 1/100 scale line. Just like an RE100, it'll feature extensive details to make them fit with the master grades of the same series. Just like the RE100, it doesn't seem to feature a full inner frame, but again, just like the RE100, it still promises to have that same very high articulation you would expect from a master grade otherwise. And while they're also not shown on the pictures, it will also come with a sheet of marking stickers, just like the RE100 line. So the thing then to set it apart from the RE100 line is it doesn't show any polycaps, I believe. Also guys, this is the full Mechanix 1/100 scale line, which is completely different from the 1/100 full Mechanix line from the Iron-Blooded Orphan series. Who gets paid to come up with this? So yeah, other than confusing and kind of pointless branding, I'm also just a bit disappointed that the Calamity Gundam isn't a master grade. Like, canonically speaking, it also uses the same GAT 100 frame as the Strike, the Duel, and the Buster Gundam, so they wouldn't have even had to create a whole new frame from scratch. They totally just could have used that inner frame. But regardless, I'll probably get it when it releases in June for 5,500 yen, tax included. And on the same day, we also got some more information on the high-grade After Colony Gundam Deathscythe, and also the real grade Wing Gundam. So the Deathscythe will be released in May and retails for 1,650 yen, tax included, and will feature advanced sliding armor technology to offer its design maximum articulation. The beam scythe will come with 2 differently sized beam saber blade effect parts, and it can also be stored on the back skirt. Now they haven't yet clarified if they're going to give us a collapsed version of the beam scythe to store that on the back skirt, but they're most likely going to do that. They did it with the old 1/144 scale and the old 1/100 scale, so I'm sure that will be the case. Also, I have no doubt that the Deathscythe is going to be an absolutely epic looking model kit. For the real grade Wing then, we'll have to wait 1 month longer, and it will set you back 3,520 yen, tax included. And for that money, we're getting a Wing Gundam with all of the whistles and bells you'd expect from a real grade. It's super detailed, super articulated, comes with all of the accessories you need. And in addition to Neo Bird mode, we're also getting Bird mode. Moving right along, another new release that we're getting is the entry grade RX-78-2 Gundam with beam rifle and shield. And for anyone who's getting a case of deja vu, just like me, the thing here is this was already on sale at the Gundam base, but now because it's becoming a normal release, they're just calling it a new release, period. But weird release shenanigans out of the way, I do look forward to picking one up myself. Over at P Bandai then, orders have opened for the Robot Damashii Dom Tropen Kimbareid base version anime. It's currently scheduled for a June release and will cost a whopping 8,800 yen with tax included. Fortunately, we are getting a lot of accessories and effect parts to make up for that price. Another P Bandai limited figure is the G-Frame High New Gundam option part set, or as I'm going to call it, the weapon set, because it comes with the giant hyper mega bazooka launcher, articulated fin funnels as opposed to the non-articulated ones that came with the figure, new hyper bazooka, beam sabers, beam gatling gun, a stand, and of course a piece of soda flavored chewing gum, which will totally justify the 3,850 yen price plus tax plus P Bandai tax that you'll have to shell out for this set when it releases in July. Ouch. The normal figure, by the way, will only cost you 1,000 yen. So that is quite steep. And if you then still have some Bandai money left after that, the high-grade Crossbone Gundam X0 full cloth and Dictus Callisto Shadow version got their pre-orders opened and will ship in May. The Crossbone Gundam will cost you 2,750 yen, and also because of the way cloth is written in Japanese, I've also seen some online stores that have the Crossbone Gundam listed as the full cross version as opposed to the full cloth version. Considering it's the Crossbone Gundam and looking at the backpack, that does kind of make sense. So a funny little thing that I noticed. Then as for the Dictus, it'll go for 3,960 yen with tax included, and reminds me more of something from Evangelion, like an angel from Evangelion, as opposed to a mobile suit. Crossbone Gundam will be Crossbone Gundam. Then I kept the best and most expensive thing for last for 27,500 yen. That's like $270. With tax included, fortunately. You can get the ultimate Mechanix Unicorn Gundam Gashapon machine. Standing at a cool 38 centimeters tall, this unicorn bust has the ability to automatically transform with the help of a controller, which is also neatly shaped like the controller of a mobile suit. And since it's a Gashapon machine, the cockpit can be ejected just like a Gashapon capsule. And if for some reason you want to, you can also put a regular 68mm Gashapon in there and experience the joy of Gashapon at your own house. That is, of course, if you really feel the need to see that Gashapon you already Gashaponed again. It's definitely an interesting gimmick. The question then I have to ask is it really a Gashapon machine if you already know the Gashapon that's going to Gashapon out of the Gashapon machine? Regardless, for those interested and for those who want to see even more of the Gashapon machine, I'll have a link to the promotional video down below. For things you can buy right now then, this week saw the release of the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Char's Zaku 1 for a wallet-crushing 22,000 yen. It's a good thing that includes tax, but as pricey as it might be, it does give us a really cool looking thing with metal on the inside and also gives us a nice array of accessories. And for those who can't get enough of this thing, soon the Black Tri-Stars will be jet stream attacking their way into the lineup. So yeah, prepare to spend 3 times that money. We've also got some interesting Gundam-based limited editions releasing at the date that this is uploaded. There is the Real Great Force Impulse Gundam with a beautiful titanium finish. At 7,150 yen, it might not be that cheap, but titanium finishes always look fantastic, and especially with the Real Great Force Impulse Gundam, it's going to look even better because it does have undergating out of the box, so no annoying nub marks to ruin the finish there. In addition to, of course, the Real Great Force Impulse is just a really good model kit. Then for 2,750 yen, there is the Crossbone Gundam X1 clear color, and well, all I can say for this is that at the very least with a real grade, because it has an inner frame that does look good, there is something shown off by having a clear color. Then the third one is the Real Great Strike Rouge Gundam with a Grand Slam sword for a grand 3,300 yen. And well, again, not too much to say about it. It's the Real Great Strike Rouge with a high grade Grand Slam. And that does kind of trigger me because the high grade Grand Slam has that annoying flag on the tip. So it doesn't look good with the thing. And if you remove it because the blade is chrome, it's going to leave an ugly nub mark. And I feel that a lot of you might be sweating because of all of these super expensive releases that are coming up that just got announced. You might just want to take a little step back and hydrate yourself with one of these new Gundam Smart Bottles that'll be releasing sometime this month on P Bandai. They'll set you back 3,080 yen, normal tax included, P Bandai tax not included, and they are available in Earth Federation colors, Xeon, and Char custom colors. And when I first read the title, I thought it was going to be one of those smart water bottles that syncs up to your smartphone and then will periodically tell you when to drink, because apparently we can no longer manage our normal bodily functions. Anyways, the smart in the title simply refers to the fact that they're insulated smart bottles and that they also use Teflon, or as we in the business call it, it's marketing. On to the Gundam Apparel highlights then. For 3,190 yen, you can get one of these Operation Meteor t-shirts with the classic 5 Gundams image and will be released in early April. Then in March, Bankore is going to be doing some serious overtime. Because from Iron-Blooded Orphans, we've got a hoodie, a t-shirt, a tote bag, a cushion that doesn't just has a logo but is even shaped like the logo, a blanket, and a mug. For the Black Tri-Stars, then we get a t-shirt, waist bag, cushion cover, blanket, and mug. And to wrap it up, then there is the Black Series, which are very stylish hoodies, t-shirts, tote bags, caps, blankets, cleaning cloths, and cushion covers with either a Federation or Xeon insignia. And what I also really like about all of those Bankore things that they're releasing in March is they don't really scream anime. Like, if you know the series, if you know Gundam, you will recognize them, but you can wear them on the street completely fine. Also, if you look closely at the Tekadon insignia, it's actually made up of the kanji for Tekadon. That's amazing. What was also amazing then this week was hearing that Yasuhiko Yoshikaze was honored at the 44th Japan Academy Film Prize, or as it's often called, the Japanese Academy Awards, because, well, it's the Japanese version of the normal Academy Awards, which most people watching are probably familiar with. So he received the Special Award for Lifetime Achievements, something that should come as no surprise for anyone who has a look at his impressive resume. In our circles, he's of course most famous for his work on the original Mobile Suit Gundam and the creation of the very, very famous and successful Gundam The Origin. Mr. Yasuhiko himself does have some trouble believing that he actually deserves to receive the reward, but I think we can all agree that he totally deserves it. In kinda related news then, an exhibition called World of Tomino Yoshiyuki will be held at the Aomori Museum of Art from March the 6th until May the 9th and will pay homage to many of his most popular anime like, of course, Gundam, Ideon, and then also Dunbine. What is also really cool is that they'll be paying tribute to Sid Mead, who unfortunately passed away in December of 2019. It's just a shame that probably none of us will be able to go. But let's end it on a more positive note. As every week, we'll end with some Gundam poll news, and this week we got the results for the poll on which Double Zeta Gundam girl should get the next Triple G figure. To absolutely nobody's surprise, Ruluka won in a landslide victory. She got a grand total of 44.9% of the votes. She basically dropped a colony on the other contestants because number 2 isn't even coming close. I also found it very funny how the article describes her as a water goddess. Maybe that's some kind of hint as well to the 3D effect they'll be using on her figure, because as we've seen with the previous Triple G figures, they have cool 3D effects going on, so maybe they'll use that for her. On number 2 then, we have a person that they described as a passionate sun goddess with a lot of radiating heat. Gee, I wonder where they got that idea from. Yeah, Karasun got 12.8% of the votes, closely followed by Elviano with 12.1% of the votes. Then going down the rest of the contestants, we have Judo Ashita with 9.4, Lina Ashita with 6.7, Mashi Marcello at 5.4, Glemy Toto at 3.2, and then in the bottom three, very deservedly, we have Emery or Emily Ounce with 2.3% of the votes. That's still 2.3% too much. And then in dead last position, we have Sarasa Moon 1.6 and Losra Moon 1.5%. Again, that's still way too much. A question then that some of you might be having is, does this then guarantee that Ruluka will be the next Double Zeta girl to be turned into a Triple G figure? I'm sure some G-Cell fans will have something to say about that. Anyways, that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.